So today is July 24th. It is 2020, and our world is pretty chaotic right now. But that's not what I'm here to talk about, because that is that's something unto itself. This is my journal that I'm creating, and I'm actually not posting this right away. So this is a journal that I'm creating because for me it is day 2 in an experiment I'm doing with law of attraction. So I'm going into a place of a 30-day dedication to have nothing but the most insane, radical, crazy, amazing self-love. I know, doesn't that sounds so self-help, doesn't it? And people are like, oh my God, I love myself, you little snowflake. No, that's not it. That's not it at all. So here's where I'm coming from with this. I had a realization, which we always do. As we get older, we mature, hopefully we continue to grow in our life. And I realized that for the last 20 plus years, I have been a practitioner of, a believer in that whatever you put your focus on, that's where you're going to head. So when you're learning how to skydive and you get to the point where you're going to be jumping out of that plane by yourself and landing by yourself, one of the things that we always teach, or that you're taught, is watch what you're focusing on, because wherever you focus, that's where your parachute is going to seem to want to go, right? When you're driving at night, they have you focus on this side of the road, not on the headlights, because that's where your focus wants to go. With that being said, would it not be true that if I'm focusing constantly, or we as species are constantly putting in negative energy, then we are going to get the repercussion, or maybe just the correct response to where we're putting our energy? So being that I am in my 50s, menopausal, quit smoking not too long ago, watching weight pile on, and I'm not worried about the weight, but the epiphany I had was how I speak to myself. The self-talk is insane mean. Like, if I ever heard my daughter speaking to herself the way that I speak to myself in my head, I would be devastated. I'd be all over her. I'd be like, what are you thinking? Like, why would you ever think that? And you're beautiful. And why would you, what is wrong with us women? I would go on that tyrant, right? And yet when it's focused inward, when it's focused in on myself, I don't seem to notice it. So I thought, wait a minute, practitioner of law of attraction. Wait a minute, lady there who claims, cause and effect, what you put out, you get back. If that's the case, hello, if you're not satisfied or not feeling good in your skin, why do you think that is? Yeah. So I decided to do a 30-day stretch. I'm going to do periodically a journal. And I'm really just eager to see on the other side of this, what is the change? So is there going to be a physical change? Well, I'm sure there is, because I think that the more that you love yourself, the kinder you are to yourself, when you don't allow yourself to be like, you're lazy, you're this, and you're blah, and you're fat, and look at those thighs, and like whatever it is. When I think you can get to a place of kindness, I think you're going to want to feed into it differently, right? Whether that's walks or exercising or eating better or whatever it is, right? So yesterday was my day 1. And simply what I did was I made this promise to myself. For the next 30 days minimum, I will not allow that kind of talk. I will not say anything to myself that I wouldn't want my daughter saying to herself. I won't do it. I refuse to do that. And when I catch myself doing it, just like I would be to my daughter, I'm going to very gently, very kindly, but very firmly say, no, we're not doing that. So that's the first step. You have to make the commitment. Commit to myself that I will love myself exactly where I stand. And that's hard if you actually look in the mirror and don't love where you stand. But you've got to find peace. You've got to find peace with your body and the changes that have taken place. And that comes with a lot of stuff. So again, yesterday was just day one. So day one was a pull a daily card. I found a deck of cards. They don't have to be tarot. It can be a Bible verse, anything. But for me, it was a deck of daily cards that I can pull, have a place of reflection, take my dog for a walk before I start my day, kind of get centered and remind myself what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. And again, dedicating 30 days. 30 days to allow whatever feelings come up to come up. And I guarantee you some things are going to come up. Because the truth is, at the end of the day, anything I say to myself, all the judgment against myself didn't come from me any more than all those judgments you put on you came from you. I want you to hear that again. All of this negative connotation and crap that I kick myself with constantly didn't come from me. My head didn't just make up those messages. Any more than what you say to yourself came from you. Think about that. You had to have received that message somewhere, even if it was by mistake. It was something you took on. It was like a receiving. Well, just like you received it and you said, oh, I'm fat, thanks for that. And you decided to keep it, you can say, I don't agree with that anymore, and you can give it back. And so that's kind of my role right now, is I'm paying attention to things that are coming up. Asking myself when those thoughts arise, where did you get that at? Like, where's that even coming from? Did it feel good then? No? Okay, let's give that back. Let's try something different. So I'm going to welcome you along for the journey. Not so much to just see if there's, what kind of physical transformations will take place. What kind of spiritual transformations will take place? What kind of epiphanies am I going to have along the way? And what really happens to you? What happens to us when we just love ourselves? Like really just accept ourselves, just where we stand every single day, just where you stand. Next day, just where. When you make a mistake or fail, those words there. When you falter, when you dip, whatever, when you eat the cake, whatever it is, whatever that thing is, what happens if you just are accepting and loving and kind all the time? All the time. Still pushing yourself. No, get up and do the walk. Why? Because it's so good for us, and because it's so whatever it is. Get up and get dressed. No, you don't have to wear yoga pants all day. If you want to, you can, but God, how exciting it would be to put actual clothes on. Those of us that are working from home completely understand that dilemma, and it is a dilemma. So again, day one was journaling and making the commitment. Today is day 2, and it's paying attention. And I think it's going to be just a lot of that, and reinforcing, and just being kind, and practicing what you preach. If you think, if you're a religious person, if you're a Christian, ask and it is done. Believe it and it's done unto you. I think that should work for every facet of our life. And in the law of attraction community, we hear a lot about money, right? Learn how to manifest $95,000.25 today. I'm not poo-pooing that. There's a place for manifesting some change. Ching, I'd like that. But I think we can remember that we can use it for anything. Like transforming not only our physical body. Look at me, I look great. But how we feel within that physical body. How we feel when we look at the mirror and we see that reflection back and we're not cringing at that reflection. How we physically feel in our clothes, and then this freedom that I imagine happens because you actually own and love and accept everything about you. It's that kind of unfolding. So it's not just maybe a physical change. I'm eager and excited to see all of the mind, body, soul, like the whole full meal deal. Day 2, radical, crazy, insane self-love. Let's see what happens.